Hello, college algebra student. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about some algebra review before we start chapter 2. So 2.1 from the textbook is actually something else, but I'll just use the same number to go over some of the basic skill that you need to know for the rest of the chapter. So the first things, of course, we will go through how to solve linear equation. What is linear? Linear means the variables is of power 1. So you would have x only in the whole equation. You might have multiple x, but it's power 1. You don't have square or square root or anything. So let's look at what's the process. The process of simplifying or solving a linear equation is ultimately you want to have x equal to something, a number. So the process would be you simplify each side of the equation first by removing the grouping symbols like parentheses by distribution, distributive property. You can clear fraction or you can combine like terms or both, all of them. Then you use add and subtract to get all the variable terms on one side. That means isolate all the terms and constant term on the other. And lastly, you use divide or multiply to get the equation to be variable equal to a number. So I have two examples here. The first has some grouping symbol on one side, well, actually on both sides. So let's see how we can solve it. So first is to clear grouping symbols. Do not subtract by 7 because a grouping symbol in front of it is a multiplication 7. So you should do multiplying first, right? So this would become 30 minus 7x. And then negative 7 times 1 become minus 7, not plus 7. Because you are subtracting, you are distributing negative 7. And then here, this is a positive 3, so you would distribute a 3 to it. So it's 21. I don't have to change sign because positive 3 times negative 2x is 6x. So I combine like terms on this side first, which is 30 minus 7. Not this 7, but this 7. So it's 23 minus 7x is equal to 21 minus 6x. So I have x on both sides, number on both sides. I have to make sure that they are all on one side. So I would add 6x on this side, add 6x on this side. So the x is on that side, but then the number would be on this side. So maybe I'll say use the other picture. So change it to blue. So actually the whole thing changed to blue. So never mind. Then I subtract 23. So subtract 23. So this side would be negative 7x plus 6x will be negative x. And on the right-hand side, I have 21 minus 23 is negative 2. So this is not done yet because at the end, I need to have variable equal to a number. So I divide it by negative 1. Divided by negative 1 because negative x means negative 1. Divide it, it will become x and it will become 2. So this is the answer. And the last step, you're supposed to check the answer. So you can casually put it in. So x plus 1 is 3. 7 times 3 is 21. So 30 minus 21 is 9. On this side, I have 7 minus 2 times 2 is 3. 3 times 3 is also 9. So that's just a quick check. The next one has fraction. So there's two ways of doing it. One is to clear all fraction no matter what. The other is to check that, I only have one x, so I don't really have to. So what you need to do is, of course, remove the grouping symbol. So 1/6 times 3/4 of x minus 1/6 times 2. And this is just by itself, so you don't need to distribute. When you simplify this, so 3 and 6 can cancel. So you have 1/8 of x minus 2 and 3 also can cancel, right? It's 1/3 equal to negative 1/5. Now, some people would do clear denominator. That means multiply a number that's really big so that all the denominator cancel. But I noticed that this only have one x, so I don't need to. Okay, if you want to, you can. So because my x is already here, so I think I'm just going to do it this way. Just work on fraction. on the other side. So this would be negative 1/5 plus 1/3. So actually add the fraction. Okay, so 1/8 of x is equal to, so I need to times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5. So I have negative 3 over 15 plus 5 over 15. So 1/8 of x, because when you add fraction, you have to do common denominator. So 2 over 15 positive. Now I have one number, one term equal to one number. So I multiply both sides by 8, right? To clear this, so x would equal to 2 over 15 times 8. That means 8 over 1. So it's 16, not 18. 16 over 15, and that's the answer. When you have x equal to a number, that is the answer. If you want to, you can plug it in to check, but I'm just gonna move on. Second thing is a solve linear inequality. So if you have an inequality and if you have a less than b, remember, this is less than. Pointing to the right is greater than. Great. Oh, so don't mix up the two. So you can think of less is on pointing to the left side, so that is easy to remember. So the main thing is you solve it as if you're solving an equation, except when this is negative, when c is negative, and you have a original a less than b. Once you multiply by a negative number, the sign flip. Okay. This inequality sign flip. When you are multiplying a negative, multiply or divide a negative number. If you multiply, divide, or add any number, it's fine. You don't have to flip, but only when you multiply, divide a negative number. So this is an example. Solve negative 2x plus 3 less than 1. So just like equation, you isolate the x term on one side. So you have negative 2x less than negative 2. And then you are to divide by negative 2, right? So divide by negative 2. But this is a negative number, so you have to flip the negative to positive. So you have x greater than 1. Graph it, 0, 1. All these numbers are greater than 1, so you highlight your graph, except 1, so you use an open circle. The second one has some grouping symbols, so again, I would do the distributive property first. Negative 4 times x, negative 4 times 1. 4 times 2x, 4 times 1, but this is a positive. So you see how 3 stays minus 4x, but minus 4 less than equal to 6 plus, so this also stay. Don't think of adding them. 8x plus 4. Okay, so combine like terms, 3 minus 4 is negative 1 minus 4x less than or equal to 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 8x. Now we have to isolate the x. So minus x on this side, minus 8x on this side. In an inequality, you like to have x on the left-hand side. So plus 1, plus 1. So negative 12x, right? Negative 12x because minus and a minus less than equal to 11. And then I divide it by negative 12. Oh, another negative. So you would say x would be less than equal to negative 11 over 12. So graph, do we know where negative 11 over 12 is? It should be a little bit bigger than 1, negative 1. So it'll be here, but including this. So you have solid dot, then highlight this side. Okay, so that is solve linear equation and inequality. In the next video, I'll talk about how to do factoring because factoring is very useful to solve nonlinear equation or inequality.